What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's review we're going to be taking a look at the ThreeZero Transformers Bumblebee DLX Nemesis Prime. This is an incredibly elusive piece with only 1,000 units being distributed worldwide, and I'm so glad to finally add this amazing piece to my collection. You can see here that for the front of the packaging it's very simplistic in its design, however I believe incredibly effective. We've got the Transformers Bumblebee logo here at the top, the DLX logo, a really awesome bust image of Optimus Prime in this metallic foil design. We've got Nemesis Prime limited edition. So without further ado, let's open this up and see what awaits us inside. And so starting off here by firstly taking a look at the accessories that are included with this DLX Nemesis Prime, the largest of which is of course the included display base. If this does appear familiar to you, that is because this is the exact same sculptor that we've seen featured on all of the previously released DLX figures. However, in my opinion, I just absolutely love the sculpt work here. It looks very reminiscent to that of Cybertron, and I love the text here of the ThreeZero logo as well as the Transformers Bumblebee logo. I would have perhaps liked it if they'd opted to go for a slightly more vibrant colour scheme here for the text, as the black does become slightly washed out when compared here next to the black base. But nonetheless, I love these bases. They're very handy if you wish to get your figures into more dynamic poses, and they can withstand the weight of the figures, which is quite surprising to see considering that some of these pieces are incredibly heavy due to them having quite a considerable amount of die cast. The entire functionality of this cradle here is exactly the same to that of the ThreeZero DLX Soundwave, so if you wish for me to go into a more detailed look on that, be sure to check out that review. Bringing in Nemesis Prime's most iconic accessory, however, here we have the Ion Blaster, and I think that this just looks absolutely fantastic. Not only is the sculpt work phenomenal, but the paint applications that have once again been applied here by ThreeZero I think are truly some of the best that I've ever seen. You can see that this looks almost as if though it is made out of steel. It definitely doesn't look as if though it is a plastic piece. You can see that the paint applications have been applied all the way throughout, and I just absolutely love the dry brushing effect with all of the individually sculpted in elements. I think that this looks so cool. We've got the trigger as well as the detailing there for the handle. They've even gone the extra mile to actually include a removable magazine clip that when you do detach that, you can see that we do have a copper bullet in there, which once again is something that they didn't have to include, but is such a nice attention to detail. So here for the Ion Blaster, I think that this is an absolute flawless looking accessory. We do of course get a complete array of interchangeable different hands, and similarly to both Soundwave and the original version of their DLX Optimus Prime, the sculpt work on these is just absolutely remarkable. You can see all of the individually sculpted in joints here for the fingers. I think that looks great, and they've even got some lovely rigid detailing. You can see here all of that looks so awesome. These have been cast in a black plastic and have been given a silver wash over the top in order to once again, similarly to the blaster, make them appear as if though they are made out of a die cast material. But in my opinion, I just think that this looks so awesome, very realistic and definitely authentic to what you would expect from a Transformer. And you can see that we do have the port there for when we do interchange them. Just bringing in the relaxed palm very quickly, we do have some very nice sculpted in detailing going on here, and the same paint applications have once again been applied. And then turning finally to the command hands, as I won't go over any of the others as they're very similar. You can see that the sculpt work on this looks so awesome, and I just think that the overall positioning of the fingers, the way that they've sculpted them, is definitely very authentic to how we saw Optimus Prime in the Bumblebee movie pose his fingers when he was commanding the Autobots to get to the tower, so that's such a nice attention to detail, and will look awesome on Nemesis Prime as of course he'll be commanding the Decepticons. But I just think that for the hands, the blaster as well as the display base, ThreeZero here have once again done a fantastic job. And so here we have the DLX Nemesis Prime, and in my opinion this looks absolutely fantastic. When it was announced that ThreeZero were indeed going to be doing a DLX version of Nemesis Prime, basing it on their mould of the DLX Optimus Prime, I just absolutely knew that I had to add him to the collection, as the Bumblebee movie interpretation of Optimus Prime is one of my all-time favourite Optimus Prime designs, and I think here it looks so awesome. This is a fantastic looking colour scheme, so without further ado, let's bring him in for a closer look. Starting off here by firstly taking a look at the detailing, I think that this looks absolutely incredible, much like it did with their original Optimus Prime. The detailing on this is truly remarkable. The sculpt work to the mouth plate, as well as here, even for the side of the helmet, I think looks incredible. As we turn around to the back of the head, you can see all of the fantastic sculpt work, and you can truly appreciate how much detailing and the attention that ThreeZero have actually put into this piece in capturing Optimus Prime's design from the Transformers Bumblebee movie. I think that the brand new colour scheme of the darker silver, as well as of course the black, black, and even the subtle highlights of teal really do set this apart from their original release. As we turn him around here once again to the front, we've got the Decepticon insignias here for the shoulders. I love the weathering effect here for the smokestacks, as well as the dry brushing that has been applied here for the biceps, as well as this entire torso section. I think that the details here look absolutely mesmerizing. Truly a remarkable looking piece. We've got some dry brush effect here applied to these sections of the windows in order to make this look weathered and worn, which I think once again just adds to the overall authenticity. As we turn it down now to the crutch area, the teal can also be apparent, and this is the colour scheme that I wish they'd used for the text on the actual display base. The arrows here on Optimus Prime's forearms have once again got that super nice teal colour detailing, and as we turn to the inner sections of the arms, you can once again appreciate some of that truly amazing and exquisite detailing that ThreeZero have put into this piece. I truly believe that they make some of the best high-grade premium collectibles on the market. And as we take a look here at the thighs, these all look so awesome. As I'm holding this figure, the amount of die cast in this really does make this feel as if though it is an incredibly substantial piece, and I just love the use of die cast as it makes the joints feel incredibly robust, and I have no worries in posing this figure around whatsoever. As you turn here to the side section, you can see once again the phenomenal detailing. The hubcaps have also got this fantastic weathered effect in order to make them appear battered and worn, as if though that they've been tirelessly fighting against the Autobots and have been helping to aid the Decepticons. And as we turn once again here to the front, we've got some of that amazing silver dry brushing effect, and the overall design is so awesome for the inner sections of the legs. I just think that the mechanical detailing looks super cool. As we turn to the base of the foot, we've got the ThreeZero logo here, and then just giving you a quick back perspective, just appreciating all of the mechanical detailing that we have going on here for the arms, as well as there for the spine. I just think that this all looks super beautiful. In terms of articulation, this figure, once again, similarly to their Soundwave, is just as good in terms of articulation as it is to look at. So the head here is on a ball joint, which can move to an exceptional degree, so we can have that rotate left to right as well as up and down. We can also get it to tilt side to side. The neck as well is also on its own ball joint, so utilising both of those joints, you are indeed able to pose the figure's head in a variety of different ways, which is exceptional to see. We do, of course, have an LED feature. I love that they have painted the eyes red so that when you don't have the LED feature turned on, the eyes do not look dead on the shelf, which is what some figures with electronic features in their head do suffer from. So it's great to see that ThreeZero have once again taken the extra time and put care into this figure in order to make him appear awesome with the LEDs turned on or turned off. But in order to activate them, you just want to push this section here of the crest, and you can see that the very vibrant, awesome LEDs will illuminate. And in my opinion, this just looks so awesome. When you have him posing on a shelf or even posing standing over Optimus Prime, he definitely looks as if though he is a formidable foe. Just turning that off very quickly, he does take two AG13 batteries, which are once again stored in the main head. The articulation for the arms are as follows. So the arms can rotate the full 360. They can also hinge all the way out to the side, and you can see that the entire shoulder here will move in order to accommodate that range of motion, which is awesome to see. We do also get a butterfly joint, and just showing you how that looks here from behind. Similarly to Soundwave, they've actually sculpted in some lovely detailing here so that when you do maneuver some of the joints, it doesn't look unsightly. We can also take this joint here and hinge this all the way up. So we can also get a hinge joint here at the armpit, angling upwards, and similarly to Soundwave, this section here will also move out of the way in order to accommodate that, and you can also push it down for a more coherent look. We do get a full 360-degree rotation here for the bicep, as well as a double joint here for the elbow, which is indeed die cast, so once again, very durable joints. I have no issues with the joints whatsoever, and that is able to go to a great degree. We also do get a rotation here at the lower section of the arm. The hands here are on ball joints, so can rotate 360, as well as hinge back and forth on a hinge joint. Turning to the articulation here for the upper torso, very good. So we do have a rotation joint here at the upper section. We also do get a waist joint, which can also rotate in order to accommodate and further excel the range of motion from this top joint. And just turning him around to the back, when we utilize the ab crunch joint, you can see that it once again exposes some amazing spinal detailing. And just bringing this in for a closer look, I think that this is absolutely fantastic. This was one of the standout features that we had with the original DLX Optimus Prime, and here done in the new Nemesis Prime color scheme. In my opinion, I think that it looks just as awesome. And then you can see from the front just how great of a range of motion that ab crunch can give you. Really awesome. And then just lifting this all the way back up. All of the hip armor here is on a ball joint, so we can hinge this all forwards. And we can also take these side panels here, hinge these out to the sides. And as we turn around here to the back, these two are also on ball joints so we can maneuver those out of the way in order to utilize the leg articulation. So we do have a die-cast drop-down joint, which just allows us to drop that all the way down, and then utilizing the actual hinge joint here for the leg, we can get a fantastic range of motion kicking up, as well as a great range of motion kicking back. He can, of course, do the splits to an amazing degree. He can literally do the full splits. We do get a rotation joint here at the thigh, as well as a fantastic range of motion here for the knee. You can see that can bend all the way up to a considerable degree. And once again, similarly to the arms, this is a complete die-cast structure, so the joint is incredibly stable and secure. And then just hinging that back down, the feet can hinge forwards and backwards due to the ankle rocker joint. They can also pivot forwards and backwards as well. This section here can hinge up, as well as this back section. And finally, the toes can also pivot up and down, and then this section can also accommodate some of the greater range of motion of the feet. So in terms of articulation, I think that it is just absolutely mind-blowing, and that isn't even covering all of the aspects. This figure probably has a lot more articulation that, similarly to Soundwave, I just haven't been able to showcase due to it being very small joints, such as these pieces here. You can see all of this is on its own separate hinge joint. So really, for articulation and detailing, I think that this piece here is just absolutely mind-blowing. I was a huge fan of their original DLX Optimus Prime, and done here in the awesome looking Nemesis Prime colour scheme, I think that it looks just as good. And here for a quick DLX Optimus Prime size comparison. Here we have both Nemesis Prime compared here next to the original mould, that being Optimus Prime, and you can just see the stark differences in terms of the colour scheme. However, the main base mould is completely unchanged here, so you really aren't getting anything new here other than the colour scheme. But in my opinion, I just think that these two here look absolutely fantastic, and I am happy to report that I was lucky enough to actually pre-order the shattered glass version of this, so this ThreeZero DLX Optimus Prime collection is most certainly going to be getting larger in the future. But I think as for now, these two pieces look fantastic, and it's awesome to have, in my opinion, the best representation of a Nemesis Prime. And so that was my review for the ThreeZero Transformers Bumblebee DLX Nemesis Prime. I absolutely love this repaint by ThreeZero. Of course, with this being a limited edition of only 1,000 pieces worldwide, this is probably going to be the most exclusive ThreeZero product that they have done in terms of their Transformers brand. However, if you are able to pick this piece up, then I highly recommend that you do so, as I think with the new Nemesis Prime colour scheme, we have what is potentially the best version of a high-end Nemesis Prime. I truly believe that this looks absolutely remarkable. If you were a fan of the Transformers Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime design, then you're going to absolutely love this. And their original DLX Optimus Prime was a beautiful looking figure. So to once again, as stated throughout this review, to get it in a more Nemesis Prime colour scheme, I just knew that I absolutely had to add it to the collection. And this figure just makes me anticipate the upcoming Shattered Glass repaint even more, as I believe that actually does have some new remoulded elements. So for that, I just cannot wait to pick that up and review it all for you. But here for Nemesis Prime, if you are able to track him down, then I highly recommend that you do so. I think that this is a beautiful looking piece. The articulation is just absolutely astounding, as well as the attention to detail, and I think that he comes with a fantastic range of accessories. So that just about wraps up this review. I really do hope that you enjoyed this review, and if you did, please do let me know down in the comment section below. Also, be sure to let me know whether or not you were lucky enough to actually pick one of these figures up and add him to your collection, and if you didn't, will you be going hunting on the aftermarket in order to pick this piece up? I'd be really eager to know, so please be sure to sound off down in the comment section, and until my next video, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.